he freezes on me and he says, oh shit, here it comes. Now, a story I wanted to tell you about my partner and I, JJ. We were selling PCP. I believe the street was Raymond. I can't remember. It's off of, it's in Spooktown. So there's 3 gangs there in that area. Spooktown, and then there's Acacia Block, Compton Crip, Spooktown, Compton Crip, and Farm Dog, Compton Crip. So we were in the farms, what they call it, because the area there was known for PCP. People from all over would be coming to that area to buy PCP. There were half-acre to acre lots in that area. Beautiful land, you know. And so they would be cooking some PCP back there, you know, and they're selling it whenever. Yeah, it was. And so we were getting a lot of complaints. But those 3 gangs, Spooktown, Farm Dog, and Acacia Block, Compton Crip, they got together and they called themselves ATF. You know, Acacia Town, meaning Spooktown, and then Farm Dog, the F, farm. You know, so they were doing a lot of slinging of PCP, rock cocaine in that area. But they also had to get together and get bigger because they had a lot of, they had bigger gangs in the area that were targeting them, like Contra Varios Setentas, the 7-O's, and, you know, Tortilla Flats in that area. So they were really getting targeted from the Latin gang side of it, you know. But this is a story about, we're getting complaints of PCP selling on the street, and known high traffic drug area. So my partner and I, Mikey, we get together and we divvy up these vials of PCP. I want to say about 100, you know. So we divvy them up, we send them to the lab. This is, you have to sell real drugs in order, you know, to get a filing with the DA's office. That's the law in the state of California. If you're going to do a reverse sting, it has to be real drugs, you know. And so Mikey and I, we got the instruction, hey man, we're going to do a reverse sting here. Myself and another copper, you know, we haven't picked one out yet to go sell drugs. And then we put, you know, we'd call in the reserve officers, we'd call in other officers that were off to come in. And when the buyers would come in down the street, they would, you know, we do hand-to-hands right there. Mikey and I vial up the PCP in the $20 or $10, you know, vials, you know, and so we send it off to the lab so that we have proof that it is PCP is what we're going to be selling. The judge signs it off, you know, that yeah, you can send it to the lab. You did all this work, so everything is accounted for, you know, that myself, my partner packaged it, delivered it to the lab, got it back from the lab, and making sure it was PCP. So the day comes, and my partner JJ, one of the OGs there, man, he worked narcotics gangs, God rest his soul, man, and really good man. So we call him in and say, hey JJ, you want to help? You want to work on Saturday, man, and help us, you know, sell some dope? Yeah. You go, yeah, I want to sell some dope, V. Hell yeah, you know. So he had a real deep voice, really good guy. So I said, cool. So we get all the team in. Must have been about 30 of us, you know, myself, JJ, Mikey, some of the other narco guys, and the reserve staff, and a jailer, and some other cops that we had there, you know, to pull over the buyers or to stop the buyers, hook them up, and start the process. So I had written out the report already where I just had to fill in the blanks, you know, do it fast, because we knew this was going to be a good day. JJ and I get on out there, we set up the area where we have cops and black and whites around the area. It starts rolling, man. I go, JJ, why don't you take this one first, man, and I want to see what you're doing, you know. So I was new in the ball game, you know, and so JJ goes over there, man, hand to hand, $20. You know, we sell it. JJ runs back to the side of the house that we were working, and JJ gets on the radio and say, "Hey, it's a go." So the car takes off with the subject in it. We give him a description of the subject, the suspect, and the car. So down the road a bit, you know, they pull him over, they recoup the dope, we get an arrest, and we tow their car. So they're just triple screwed, man, you know, and it's like candy, a liquor store, man. Another one comes up to bat. I go on up there and do a hand to hand.
Are you guys undercover?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know and nobody knows we're cops. They're just pulling up. They're buying dope. Hey man, you got some water? That's what they called it there in the farms, you know. Yeah, you know. So we give them the vial. We'd give them, you know, they'd give us the 10 or $20, and off they went. So JJ and I, we got to spend some great time, man, on the side of the house, exchanging stories, writing our reports after every hand-to-hand that went down. I think we started at about 9, 10 o'clock. We ended maybe about 3, and we must have ended up with about 30 to 40 arrests, man.
Damn.
That's how many, you know, guys, people were coming into that area from all over the town. Anaheim, you know, Long Beach, Southgate, you know, and these weren't thugs, man. These were regular people that were coming in and buying PCP, smoking it, and going off to their job or to their loved one and being high as a kite. I couldn't believe it, man. I was just,
White, black, brown?
All walks of life, you know. So on this one subject that came in, big Samoan dude, man. This guy must have stood about 6'6", 6'7", 300 pounds solid, man. All right, so he pulls up, and I go up to him. Like, yeah, what's up, man? And he says, oh man, I want some water, man. I said, all right, cool. So he gets out of the car. I go, oh crap, man, he's getting out of the car. And this guy, I'm looking up to him, and I'm saying to myself, oh shit, man, this is a big boy, you know. And JJ, I can see him on the corner of the house. He's looking at me like, what are you doing, man? So I walk him towards the corner of the house, and he goes, man, I want to test it before I buy it. I go, you want to test it, man? Hey, dude, this is PCP. Come on, this is water. Let's go. No, man, I want to test it. So let me test it. I said, all right, man. Test, you know, all right. So he pulls out a cigarette, undoes the vial, and he dips his cigarette right at the tip of the PCP vial, and he sucks up the PCP into the cigarette, you know.
Lit or unlit? Unlit.
Unlit.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So, you know, you tip it right at the tip of the cigarette to the tip of the PCP, and then you suck it up, you blow it up, and it'll rise up into the cigarette, you know. So he lets it dry for a few seconds because it'll dry right away, you know. And then he lights it up. Man, he finishes off that cigarette and that PCP, man. He's like, oh yeah, it's good stuff. I said, well, good. I told you, man. He says, I need another one. I said, holy shit. I'm looking at JJ, and JJ's like looking at me like, what are you doing? Because he can't see JJ. JJ's behind him, you know. So he pulls out another cigarette, and he does the same thing. He repeats it. Lets it dry a little bit. And we're talking to him, and he lights that one up. By that time, another car's coming up. JJ comes out, and he sells to the other car that's passing by. So I'm there alone with this 6'6", 6'7" Samoan dude, man, about 300 pounds solid, and he's smoking. He gets done with it, and he goes, that's good shit, man. Ooh, I still need another one. So John, yeah, he takes out another cigarette. He does the same thing, and then right when he's about to light that third one up, he freezes on me, and he says, "Oh, oh shit, here it comes." So I'm looking around for a stick. I just wanted to knock this guy out in case because if you've ever been around PCP guys, man, they're strong as horses. They can wipe out 10 cops. So I run over to the corner of the house. I grab my radio and I said, "Hey man, I need some units in here. Right now this guy's lit up." Units come in and we talk. "Hey man," I talk to him real slow. "Hey, everything's good, right? Everything's good." Yeah. I go, "Just do me a favor. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back." And we calmed him. Put his hands behind his back. Cuffed him up. 2 pairs of cuffs. He was so damn big. Walked him out there. Called the fire department with the ambulance, and they escorted him off to Martin Luther King Hospital.
No kidding.
Yeah, man. He got lit. Close to 3. 2 really is just lighting up the other one, and it hit him.
How much ounces are in the vials?
Oh, they're small. I guess the vials were about, not that much. Maybe.
So a whole vial will be soaked into a cigarette.
No, probably about a quarter of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it goes a long way. So that was one hell of a day, man. But then the day didn't end. So we get everything calmed down, clear out the units. We're back in business. So I'm sitting on the side of the house, and I'm writing my report on it. I got to catch up. I tell you, by noon we've already had about 15, 20 arrests. So I'm writing, and I look up, and I see this blue car go by. I go, "Man, that looks familiar." And I look at it again, and I look at the license plate, and I go, "Oh crap, that's my father-in-law's car." So I see JJ go up to the car, and I'm looking. I'm trying to come around on the side of the house, and I'm looking, and it's a female driver. And I'm looking, and JJ, I can see him do the exchange hand to hand. Boom, boom, boom. So I run the plate. I call in, to run the plate, and they come back. It's my father-in-law's car, man. I go, "Holy crap." And I told you, all walks of life, So,
but
the
it's
car,
not him, it's a girl.
Yeah, it's not him, it's a girl. Okay. The car takes off, the units pull him over. JJ runs back, it's a go. Units pull him over, pull her over, and they can't find the dope. JJ gets on the radio and says, "Yeah, man, I sold her. You got to check the dope. Get a female officer over there." So the female officer got there, and she had tucked it down in her front underwear, and we found him. But it turned out that was my father-in-law's wife. He got remarried. It was, and she came to the city of Compton, where I worked at, and she was going to buy PCP.
No.
And I know at that time she had 3 kids at the house. And it's sad, so that's why I go back.
Wait, where did he live?
They lived at the time in Norwalk.
How far is that?
See, that's about 10 miles, maybe 15 away.
20 minutes?
Yeah. To get there to the farms, in that area. But how the knowledge of these people know where to go get their drugs in the PCP from all walks of life coming into the city.
Yeah.
So I really don't think, and to be honest with you, man, I don't think we arrested one Compton citizen that day. They were just coming in from out of town and dropping in
Tourists.
there. Yeah, tourists, man. So it's sad when it gets that close to your home of having your father-in-law's wife come in and buy some dope. It's sad. So it's near everybody's front door. And
What happened to her?
oh, she got hooked up. We filed the case against her.
She went to court.
Oh, she went. Yeah, man. What? And I remember my sergeant again, Willie. He wanted to test the waters with me and ask me, "What do you want to do? Do you just want to squash the case, use her as an informant, or you tell me what you want to do?"
What
You know? Oh man, threw the book at her.
Really?
Oh hell yeah. I
You didn't
mean,
like her, huh?
I liked her, but she crossed that line to come into my city and buy dope. Well, nah, man. It's done. You crossed that line. You knew I was a cop. You knew where I worked at, and you're gonna come and embarrass me like that. But no, you embarrassed yourself. So guess what, man? You stay in jail. You get transported over to the court system, and whatever happens from there, I'll go testify against you. So that's why I tell you, going back is that, you have to be in your house. You have to manage your house. You should know what everything is happening and be involved. Asking them where they're, who their friends are, who they're hanging out with, watching. It's sad to say, but it was right there, And so yeah, she, but
She served time?
I don't remember. Maybe she got slapped on the wrist
Did they stay
and did
married?
yeah, Oh, they're separated now. No, it's more of a tranquilizer that they use on elephants to subdue, to calm, to relax. But they really don't relax. They become frigid. They become stiff. They become like hulks. Also strong as hell. And it's very hard to control them. On PCP. I seen people trying to climb light poles with that stuff. Funny, man. You're just sitting there watching them. Yeah, what a a sight to see, man. Like I said, we must have arrested about 30 people that day. Got to
Males,
see.
females?
Oh yeah, man. Coming in, guys from McDonnell Douglas coming in at lunchtime. Needing a high, and they look like professional people. But they knew where to come to the city and buy what they wanted to buy. So it was unbelievable.
How'd they know?
Probably just got turned on by people where to get it from, word of mouth. We didn't have the internet there. Google where can I buy PCP? So yeah, they knew where to go.
Just word of mouth, huh?
Yeah, man. It was a good time.
You go with that 43 you had. I didn't hear any of it. I had just like we do.
10-4, I just wanted to know if you should be put back 76 to Cabana Circle or to the subject